I am still seeing people on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X swear you can buy a business with no money down. They flash these screenshots, whisper free companies, instant cash flow, zero risk. I'm going to level with you. 99% of that is pure fantasy. I've helped close over 33 million in real deals, and I've yet to see the unicorns everyone's selling. One of my podcast guests blasted out 12,000 emails trying to land a zero down deal. One seller bid, and it was a bizarre edge case. That's 1 in 12,000, not 1 in 12. So think about that for a second. If you're here because you typed in no money down into YouTube, you're curious, maybe a little bit skeptical, maybe a little bit hopeful. Well, good. You're exactly who I want to talk to. Let's bust this myth and show you what's actually possible. And I'll reveal the one question that flips the whole idea on its head later in this video. Hi, I'm Jon Stoddard from DealFlowSystem.net. I've helped buyers close over 33 million in deals and raise 50 million in funding. When I started, I believe the same hype you're hearing now. I even chased a free deal once, lost 6 months and a lot of my hair. If you're working full time and want to buy a business without wasting years on junk deals, hit that subscribe button right now and stay tuned. Because by the end of this video, you'll know what's hype, what's real, and the one question that changes this whole game. All right, part 3, myth versus reality. Here's the dream. Find a business and seller says, take it and pay me later. No banks, no investors, no cash down. The reality, deals like that are incredibly rare. I'm not saying they're impossible because I've interviewed over 160 business buyers, but incredibly rare. And I'll tell you a quick story. One seller financed 100% of the deal for a student of mine, but it was because the seller was retiring, desperate, and trusted the buyer completely. Yeah, that's amazing, right? Typical? No, not at all. Would you take a deal where the seller carried 100%? Like, think about that for a second. As Jim Rome said, you don't get paid for the hour, you get paid for the value you bring to the hour. Sellers finance deals when trust, leverage, and urgency line up, not because of magic tricks or something you learned in a course. Part 4, 3 rare ways it actually happens. Number 1, the volume play. You send thousands of emails and hoping one bites, one falls for the death, divorce, disinterested bait. Or number 2, you're the bank. Like, you're a bigger company absorbing a smaller one, like GM with a supplier. Or number 3, insider trust. You already work there or have deep credibility in the industry. Let's say you're a general manager, you've been working for the boss for 10 years, he loves you, he knows you'll do a good job, and he knows you'll keep running the business as keep growing his legacy. Just look at what Buffett did with See's Candies. It was all about reputation and trust. Now, if you were the seller, would you hand over your life's work with zero cash at close? Yeah, be honest with yourself about it. Part 5, creative financing that actually works. Here's the good news to this. You don't need 100% seller financing to do a great deal. You need creative financing that's actually real. Like, you could do partial seller financing, but use SBA loans as a government-backed deal with as low as 10% down. And you can use earnouts or investor capital. Let me give you an example of a real deal. 1 million purchase price, seller carries 400K, SBA covers 500K. Buyer puts in 100K, 10% down. That is totally doable. Let me ask you a question on this deal. Would you want a lower price or more seller financing? Which would you choose? It depends on what the seller really wants and needs, and you have to develop that through a relationship. All right, part 6, the real leverage. Your leverage really isn't a trick. It's your skills and your team and your reputation and clean credit. and investor relationships, and a documented track record. That's what sellers and lenders care about. Here's a quick story. One of my students' deals, the seller financed a chunk because a clear operator plan. They saw the roadmap. They trusted the student to execute. If you were the lender in this case, would you back somebody without a plan? Be honest with yourself. Of course not. Part 7, the emotional trap. Most first-time buyers chase free deals. They get right in, they hear this stuff, and it's a shortcut, right? It's human. We want shortcuts. But desperation actually kills credibility. Here's a quick story. I had one student chase no money down businesses and lost months. He signed up for this course and lost about 2 years worth of his life chasing these deals and could never land anyone. Another one built a credible plan and landed a bank-backed deal. Here's why. Because capital follows certainty, not wishes. So say it out loud. Capital follows certainty, not wishes. All right, part 8, the big reveal. So what's the real secret here? If you had to bet your own money on one factor, just one, what would it be? Hold on to that thought. Here's the one question every seller, lender, and investor asks. Why should I trust you with my money and my business? That's it. That's the unlock. This question reframes every negotiation, every financing plan, and every pitch. I like Ray Dalio, and he says trust and transparency are the real capital. That's it. That's the currency. All right, part 9. How do you build trust? There's 3 quick moves. One is start right now and clean up your credit and financials. 2, assemble your operator team or advisors or investors on the ready. And number 3, practice your financing pitch before you need it. If a seller called you tomorrow, would your buyer profile inspire confidence? Could you ask that a question if a buyer is ready to go? You found them, they liked you, saw what they did, and they said, how do I sell to this guy? Part 10, practical takeaways. You probably will never get 100% seller finance. Yeah, unless you're a bigger company and you're the bank. But you can get great deals with 10 to 20% down if your plan is solid. So start building relationships months before you need them. And X allows you to do that. LinkedIn allows you to do that. Search Fund allows you to do that. Get a call with these guys. Get a Zoom. Ask them questions. Ask for advice. You know that saying, if you ask for money, you're probably going to get advice. If you're asked for your advice, you're probably going to get money. That was something I learned in Silicon Valley. Treat every seller like a partner, not an adversary. And reflect on that. It kind of changes the whole game that you're playing with this M&A and trying to buy your first business. So when you show up as a pro, doors are going to open for you. All right, part 11. If you're serious about buying a business, you're going to need a roadmap. You're going to need financing strategies and the right deal flow. That's exactly what I teach inside my course and group coaching. Inside DealFlowSystem, we break it all down step by step. How to find deals, how to review deals, and how to finance them smart. I built this because I wasted years learning the hard way, and I don't want you to do the same. All right. If you found this video useful, smash that subscribe button. And if you're serious about buying your first business, head over to DealFlowSystem.net. I can help. That's where I show you how to find, fund, and close your first deal the smart way. I'm Jon Stoddard. I'll see you on the next one.